Hello to my friends, my sisters and brothers in Cairo, Illinois, from Margaret, Dr. Mom, in Enid, Oklahoma. I recently learned a lot about Cairo, Illinois by looking at videos on YouTube. My son gave me a new TV, and I learned how to do streaming instead of watching cable TV. It was just too expensive anymore, and I didn't want to watch most of what was on there. So I've enjoyed learning about other places and people. And I saw a meeting of beautiful people in Cairo, Illinois, and the pastor said, "They said this is a dead city, but y'all don't look dead to me." So, God love you. It's a beautiful place. Of course, you want to stay there and live in your city. But there's problems. There's problems everywhere. But so you got some problems in Cairo, Illinois. And because I love you, I am making this video to send you a message. So this is a message from Enid, Oklahoma to Cairo, Illinois. Now, one of the places I've been on YouTube is Italy. And they had the same problem, believe it or not, in Italy that you have in Cairo. And what the mayor or the authorities in some of these Italian cities did might be helpful for Cairo, Illinois. Now, in Italy, these were towns and small cities kind of out in the countryside. And a lot of the people and the young people and so forth have moved to the cities. Of course, they've got some mega cities in Italy to find work and so on. And so what the mayors did there was, and they have all these old houses, just like you do in Cairo. They have all these old houses in these Italian cities. And some of these are like, 300 and 400-year-old stone houses. They're really interesting. But they got 300 and 400-year-old plumbing and roofs. And so what they do, and they had kind of a lottery type of a sale thing where they would sell people a house for $1. And then they would advertise it. So we're selling these houses. We got a list of them. They'd have a list of the city would own the houses. The city would sell the houses for $1. And then they would have like an online auction, and people had to pay at least $1, and some of them didn't pay very much at all. Some of them might pay $1,000. But anyway, what they did was they had a lottery. People online bought the houses for as cheap as they could, however much it was. They had to sign contracts, of course, that they would come and live in and work on the house for 2 years, something like that. Anyway, if you guys did something like that, you could make up your own terms. You could say, we'll sell the house for $1, but you've got to keep the yard cut and the bushes and the trees cut, and you got to be working on the property, whether you're actually living in it or not. And I know a lot of those old houses there are too far gone. But a lot of those houses are so solid built that they are worth reclaiming. Now, I saw a real nice young woman. I think her name was Shayla, and her children, and she was on a video on YouTube explaining why she did not want to leave Cairo. And she was living in a terrible public housing apartment where her children had to live and sleep in the living room because the plumbing was bad. There were bugs. There were mold and mildew and all this and that. But she just didn't want to leave her home. I understand that. I wouldn't want to leave my home either. But she didn't know where else to go. Now, she didn't own that apartment, and it probably wasn't worth owning. But if the mayor, take her for example, I don't remember her name. I'm sorry, girl. I'm sorry, young lady. I don't remember your name. We'll call you Shayla. Shayla, get the mayor to sell you a house for $1. One of them nice, big, square, solid built houses. Then we get together, the community, and we'll make sure that there is a tight roof on the house. Okay, and then we will get together and we will get some people who know plumbing, and we'll make sure that you have some kind of plumbing that will bring water into your house at least. If there is not a working toilet, we will go back to the old days. We will dig an outhouse in the backyard if we have to, just to get things going. But if we've got running water coming into the house so you can have drinking water and cooking water, at any rate, what I'm saying is step by step, you could do things to make a house probably a lot more livable than that rundown, bug-infested apartment. And when you move into your new house, make sure you don't carry any bugs or bug eggs with you. Now, we've had a problem here sometime with fleas real bad. And my little dogs would go out in the yard and bring fresh fleas in. So I know what it's like trying to clean a house and clean the bugs out of it and get bit. So, but what I'm saying is we could do this. And let's pull together, everybody in Cairo, pull together and find one of those houses and make the mayor, whoever owns it, sell it to her for $1. Put a roof on it, get running water to it, and start working on it and get Shayla's house livable. There's usually 4 big bedrooms upstairs in those old houses, plenty of room for her kids. And there's usually a big sitting room and a big dining room and lots of room downstairs, plenty of room. And get her in that house, safe and sound, some kind of heat for this winter. And get her taken care of so she does not have to move away from her home and her community, and give her the pride of ownership so that she has something that's in her name and belongs to her, and get a moratorium or extra low property taxes. Instead of putting your money in every month from your factory job on rent, put it in on your house and get her up and running to where she can live in that house safely with her kids and get her settled, and then take the next person and get the next house. And while we're at it, that nice pastor that I saw, a nice black pastor, he needs to run for mayor. The people who live there and who need city services and who need help pulling their community together need to be running the town. You probably already figured that out. You don't need me to tell you that. And by the way, I'm black. I know I don't look black, but DNA does not lie. I had my DNA tested, and my great-great-great-great-grandmother came from Africa and was a black African. So here I am, and I'm part Chinese too. And I imagine if everybody checked their DNA, they would find out that they have some interesting relatives. So I'm there with you. I'm poor. I live on Social Security. I have 3 little dogs. I'm retired. I own my home by the grace of God, and my mother helped me to buy this house 15 years ago. I own my own home. And sometime I'm ready to move out the door and go to a senior apartment. But rising rents have convinced me to stay in my house and just try and find support and help. I'm going to try to get some help from Habitat for Humanity. That's another resource you might look into. There are national groups who could come to Cairo and be involved in rescuing some of those old houses that are not too bad gone. Because when they built houses 100 and 150 years ago, they built them solid. And they built strong foundations. I think that it's worth looking into. So, I don't want to be on here for too long and run up a big long video. I just want to reach out and hug you and hug my sisters and brothers in Cairo, Illinois, and say, you go. You save your town. You get a hold of those houses that are neglected. If there are people who own them who are neglecting them, Maybe they're not paying the property taxes on them, and you can buy them for little or nothing for paying the property taxes. But I think you ought to get the city government to take ownership of a number of those properties and then sell them to people. And maybe you could get some young people to move to Cairo and buy those houses for $1. Maybe y'all could buy them houses for $1 and say, this is my house. I'm going to fix it up. I'm going to put a roof on it. And even if Habitat for Humanity people don't come, Habitat for Humanity has stores where they sell building materials and other things that you can use to fix up a house. So I encourage you to don't let people tell you your town is dead. Don't let your town die. Don't let all those wonderful, big, old, sturdy, strong houses just get covered up in ivy and destroyed. Go in there, move out of your Section 8 apartment, get your own house. You don't need the government paying for your house. You need to take that monthly rent and put that into the care and keeping of your own house. So God love you. God bless you. And let me know how you're doing. I understand there's a way to leave comments, but you can email me at tiviswarren at gmail.com. That's T as in Tom, I, V as in Victor, is.warren, WARREN, at gmail.com. And God bless y'all, and I wish you the best. And if I can figure out how to close this video, I'm going to post it on YouTube for you to see. God love you. Bye-bye.